Hello there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Taryn Tats, and I got another 4K Blu-ray that I want to talk about today. And yeah, this is a great movie that I want to talk about. And I foolishly thought that this was just Warner Brothers putting this out, and I figured well, we're getting this one out. Well, you already know, and I'll get to it in just a minute. We're talking about The Color Purple, Steven Spielberg's beautiful film based off Alice Walker's masterpiece of a novel. And yeah, I foolishly thought that the whole reason we were getting this was because like they just wanted to get this movie out because get the rest of Spielberg's films out on 4K, and especially too with the recent release of Duel on 4K. But no, come to find out, it's like the reason we get this because there's a hot damn remake of it coming out, which great. But anyway, we'll get to that and all in just a minute. If you could just indulge me for just a second, I just want to show you a couple of things I picked up. I got me some cool CD soundtracks, and well, except for one, I got these. I got 3 out of 4 for $1 a piece, so not bad. So first one up, we have the soundtrack for Desperado. I actually really do enjoy this soundtrack, and it's really good. Music by Los Lobos, and my brother took me to see a Los Lobos concert one time, and yeah, it was an amazing time. Excellent band, do wonderful music. Can't believe it. So yeah, Desperado on soundtrack. Glad to have it. This one here, oh man, I was happy to find this one, and for $1, come on, man. This one here, this is a movie I really do like. We got Malcolm X, Spike Lee film. You could tell they're $1. Yeah, you can see the cases are a little wear and tear on the cases and stuff. But yeah, the inside artwork and the discs are in great shape. So for $1, can't beat that. And yeah, I really do love this. I really do love this movie, and this is one I really wish I would have picked it up earlier, but just didn't have the funds. But yeah, I do. I'm hoping I'll have the money next time Amazon or not Amazon. Criterion does one of their half off sales. I want to try to get this bad boy on 4K, but yeah, just still, really good Spike Lee film. So Malcolm X, happy to have this. This one here. This is weird because it's a case of I love the music, but I have to admit I'm not really a fan of the movie, to be honest with you, and that is Footloose. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I mean, I know that they just announced the other day that Footloose Paramount's going to do a 4K release of Footloose, but for whatever reason, I am just not a fan of the movie. But I love the soundtrack. I love all the songs on here. Kenny Loggins, Footloose. Let's Hear It for the Boy. Holding Out for a Hero. Things like that. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I love the music. I love the soundtrack. I'm just not big on the movie. The movie just doesn't really appeal to me. Crazy, I know, but and this one was the one that was a little bit more. But glad to have it. I had this soundtrack before, but I had the discs for many many years, and they got scratched and everything else. So now, finally, nice to find a nice newer copy of it. It's used, of course, but still is definitely an upgrade from what I had. And the discs are a lot cleaner. We have the soundtrack for Casino, a brilliant movie. I love this movie, and I love the soundtrack. Good lord, all the great music and songs you got on there. Oh hell yeah, great soundtrack. Really, really love it. And yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, when it comes to gangster movies, Casino is definitely right up there with my favorites. And I think I've already said it before. Is like I do enjoy the Godfather films and everything. I do like them, but I don't know. When it comes to like favorite gangster movies, I prefer more stuff like Casino, Goodfellas, Scarface, things like that. But still, yeah, Casino, excellent movie and great soundtrack. Glad to finally get a new copy of it. So yeah, there we go. All right, now let's get to the real reason you're here. And today, because of Warner Brothers, we have the 4K Blu-ray of Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple. And this movie is amazing. This movie is fantastic. The book is equally just a masterpiece, and I recommend both. Um, I was really disappointed when I found out. And my brother and I went to the movies the other day, and they had a poster for the remake of The Color Purple, and then I saw the advertisement, and Of course, it says, a bold new take on the beloved classic, which means, in plain people speak, it means we took the story and screwed it up, which pretty much is what it means. But honestly, this movie here, I'm sorry, I'm just not really interested in the remake. I'm not interested in, them sitting there and just taking it, altering it, and everything else. I mean, the whole story was that, Alice Walker wanted to tell the story of her grandmother, and she wanted to tell her story and all the struggles and everything, that the obstacles and things in life that she had to endure, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, now you're going to take it and just alter it and try to rewrite it and everything else. And it's like, oh my god. And then like, another thing though too is, like, Mr. Like, there's some amazing things. If like, I definitely recommend. One thing I love on the 4K is that they include the bonus features, and the bonus features are really, really interesting and fascinating, and I highly recommend looking at the bonus features. For example, like, Quincy Jones. Yes, the Quincy Jones bought the late great Quincy Jones. He bought the rights to the book because he wanted, as the producer, because he wanted to have the book made into a movie. And then, the thing was, like, here comes Steven Spielberg, and he, expressed interest. He wanted to be the one to direct the movie. However, he actually had to go and, that was the thing. Like, he was known as a director of blockbusters. At this point, he had done stuff like E.T., Close Encounters, Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, stuff like that. But he had to actually go and audition for both Quincy Jones and Alice Walker, because he had to show them, like, it's like, yeah, this guy makes movies, but he makes these spectacle movies, and this is really important material and everything. And so he had to, go and show them that he was the man to direct this movie. So he had to basically audition for it and everything else. And then he did audition for it, and then, making the movie, he was like, I wanted Alice Walker, basically looking over my shoulder. It was like, I wanted to make sure I told the story that she wrote. I wanted to make sure I got it right, So I told her, it's like, be there, it's like, so if I remember, yeah, I believe she was on set, and he was like always going to her and just like, like, am I doing it right? Make sure I'm getting it right and things like that. So, but this movie is absolutely fantastic. Definitely, easily one of the best stories about female empowerment ever written. And yeah, and the performances, everything, it's like, and honestly, like, look at this here. This is actually not a bad cover. I mean, yeah, the original poster art would have been nicer and everything, but usually, like, the covers that that Warner Brothers puts on their covers or their artwork and stuff is usually, they're pretty horrible. Like, everybody hated the one they did for The Exorcist, but this is actually not bad, with just Whoopi Goldberg, Miss Seeley, and everything else. I think this was a nice touch. Of course, nice slip cover, and I got like a little. There we go. We got the back here. But yeah. So, and then we got our bonus features. We have, conversations with the ancestors, the color purple from book to screen, a celebration or a collaboration of spirits, cast and acting the color purple, cultivating a classic, the making of the color purple, the musical and theatrical trailers. There you go. And no big surprise, the picture quality on this is astounding. It looks great. It's easily the best this movie's ever looked. I never saw it in the theaters, but I definitely watched it on VHS, and it was interesting because I remember back in the VHS days, like, this was like the one movie that yeah, I remember, like, when they put it out on VHS, this was like one of the first times I ever saw a movie in widescreen, because, they said, like, to get the overall effect and the importance of the movie, you had to watch it in widescreen. So I remember that from the VHS days. But yeah, I watched this on VHS, and then I had it on DVD, the 2 disc DVD, and the Blu-ray. Now I got the 4K, and no great surprise. I was looking for, like, some irregularities or some problems with it. I never ran across anything. Everything always looked good. Like I said, everything was always just the amount of detail in the costumes, and, like, the weathered look of Mister's house, and, just everything, some colors really do pop out. Of course, like the purple pops out and stuff, the red and everything else. And but just yeah, the details are beautiful, and the movie it looks great. It sounds fantastic. You got Dolby Atmos, and yeah, just oh wow, just this time, I was like, you could complain, and I did complain about, like what they did with The Exorcist, but man, oh man, like they did a better job with this. This is a really good one, and for the price, it's not bad. This was altogether, this was $25 and change, so not bad for this. And I know that there is a I know there is a steel book, that you can import, but I just went ahead and went with the standard. The original poster are there on the disc. And yeah, you do get the digital code, and for the digital enthusiasts, you do get if you redeem the code, you do get 4K UHD. So if somebody gives you a code from this edition, you should get the 4K edition. But just yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of this movie, and even if you're not, I would say get this movie and check it out. Don't bother with the stupid remake. I mean, come on, man. Just like this movie is so good, and like this is the one movie that always made me cry at the end. You know, always did every single time. It's like, when you see all the hardship and all the things that Miss Seeley had to endure throughout the course of this movie, and then at the end of the movie, she's a successful businesswoman. She's got her own home. She's surrounded by friends, and then the icing on the cake to be reunited with her sister, who she had not seen in years, to be reunited with her sister and her children. You know, that is beautiful, and it does. This is the one movie that makes me cry. I admit it, I blubber like a baby when I watch this one, and then like man, Oprah Winfrey, she's amazing in this movie. Danny Glover, you know. Danny Glover is super intense as Mister in this movie, and I just have a feeling like a lot of that's going to be altered in the remake. So that's why I'm just kind of like, So yeah, I'm not really interested in seeing it. I'm sorry, but just this movie here, like one thing I think is actually kind of charming. Like a lot of people would probably think it's annoying, but one thing I think is actually pretty charming is in this movie when you're first introduced to Miss Sophia, Oprah Winfrey's character there. And she's brash and loud and opinionated, and she's like, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I do what I want. Nobody gets in my way, and all this other kind of stuff. And then, unfortunately, to see her being beaten down and tormented, put in prison for years, and all that, having her children taken away from her, all this other kind of stuff, and then, like the scene at the dinner table when you see her. Like, here's this woman, like, her spirit has been broken and everything. To see her come back from that, to see her start slowly, she's laughing. And oh, Miss Sophia home, Miss Sophia home. It's a good moment. It's a great moment in the movie. But yeah, oh man. But yeah, I think I'm kind of rambling on. I'm sorry, I love this movie. It's a great film. It's an enduring classic. And like I said, don't bother with the remake. Stick with this. Okay? Like I said, easily one of the best movies about female empowerment ever written. Just an amazing story. And read the book, too. The book is also astonishing. I can't recommend it enough. But anyway, yes. The color purple on 4K? Yes, no doubt. If you love this movie, you want to check it out? Yes, 4K. I promise you will not be disappointed. The picture quality, the sound quality, everything. Yes. Solid yes. So that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And that's it. Take care, boils and ghouls. See you later.